Hi there, and welcome to this Ladbrokes Derby Day edition of Top End Track Talk. I'm Andrew O'Toole, and this Saturday's meeting here at Fanny Bay will be day 4 of the Great Northern Darwin Cup Carnival, with the running of the Blue Riband, the Derby, sponsored by Ladbrokes. The 20th of July is the date for the eagerly anticipated running of the Derby, the second leg of the Ladbrokes Triple Crown, and some 63 horses have accepted for the 7-race meeting, with an excellent support card to the big 3-year-old feature. The first race gets underway at 1:33 p.m. Northern Territory time and is the Gardens Park Golf Links Handicap, a 0 to 66 1,300 metre event, and my numbers in the opener are 3, 1, 6 and 2. Very smart young horse is Grammar Boy, number 3. He is having his first start back in Darwin for quite some time. He was a really smart 3-year-old last year and unfortunately went amiss. He was sent south, was operated on. He's had 3 runs back in Victoria. He's back in the top end with Gary Clark, and he only has to reproduce his best form from when he raced here as a 3-year-old. 3 starts, 3 wins in Darwin, to be very hard to beat here. Brendan Davis aboard. He draws 2, the 1,300 metres should suit. So he's on top, number 3, ahead of number 1, Jailhouse Rock from the Dick Leach stable. Sonia Wiseman aboard. His last couple of runs have only been fair, but he's certainly a lot better than he's been showing, and I'm prepared to allow him a chance in this field. In for third, number 6, Choice Approach from the Tom Harrower stable. Jared Todd aboard. A last start 6 behind Mulk in a pretty quick time was good enough to suggest that he'll be a chance here. And in for fourth, number 2, The Auditor. 3, 1, 6 and 2 in the day's first. The second's the Alcyon Parap Weight for Age. It's obviously a Weight for Age event. It's over 1,200 metres and a field of 7 to face the starter here, with some of the better sprinters in the top end going around. My numbers 2, 7, 6 and 5. Backslap, number 2 from the Tayan Halter stable, was really impressive, winning the Rowan Cup over 1,300 metres last time out. That was the 29th of June. He has the services of Paul Shires this week, and that certainly is no impediment. And he's just really going good, this horse. He was 4th in the Pioneer Sprint. The 1,200 metres should suit him at this stage of his preparation. He's heading towards the Palmerston, and I think he's one of the better bets of the day. 2 on top for me. Ahead of another really good sprinter in the top end, the Captain, number 7, Gary Clark and Brendan Davis, the combo. He hasn't raced since finishing 3rd in the Pioneer Sprint in Alice Springs. His earlier form in Darwin was first class. He had a trial the other week and went super. He'll race really, really well. In for third, number 6, Mulk. This is a big test for Mulk. He's put 3 wins together in lower grades. Terry Treichel and Neil Dyer, the combination. Can he step up to the Weight for Age company? We'll soon find out. And in for fourth, number 5, Moot. 2, 7, 6 and 5, race 2. The third's the Avis Handicap. It's for the 0 to 70 gallopers. It's over the 1,100 metres. My numbers here, 2, 1, 3 and 8. Going here with number 2, Smuggling from the Stephen Brown stable from Victoria, and young Mitch Aiken takes the ride. 1 start in the top end for a really good win. Now, that was pre-carnival on the 29th of June, Rowan Day, but he rocketed home on that occasion. That was 1,200 metres. This is 1,100, but he hasn't raced for 3 weeks, so I don't think that's any issue. He should be very hard to beat. 2 on top. To beat number 1, Divine Red, an up-and-comer from the Gary Clark stable. Brendan Davis aboard. He's got a very good record in Darwin. 7 starts, 3 wins, a second and 2 thirds. He's fresh up, hasn't raced since the 3rd of April, but he did trial here just the other week and looked in 100% top form. In for third, number 3, Clever Tommy, the Alice Springs visitor, trained by Normie Bracken. Has a really good record, this horse. 14 starts, 4 wins. Has had a few injury worries over the years, has Clever Tommy, but Normie Bracken produced him for a last start win back in Alice. That was the 16th of February, so he didn't race through the carnival in Alice this year. But if Norm's got him anywhere near right, he'll take some beating. Raymond Viger aboard. And in for fourth, number 8, Looking for You. 2, 1, 3 and 8. We move to race 4 on the 7-race card. It's the Science City Handicap. It's for the 0 to 58 gallopers. It's also over 1,100 metres. My numbers here, 1, 8, 3 and 4. Going with one of the co-top weights in Bon Air, trained by Carl Spry and to be ridden by Carl. Carl's team's absolutely on fire during the carnival. And Carl himself, 5 wins as a trainer and 4 as a jockey, so he's really going well. Bon Air's fresh up run last time out for 5th behind Moral Outrage, I thought was a good run. He'll be ready to hit top form, I'm sure, this coming Saturday. 1 on top. To beat number 8, Tiger Trap, Sonia Wiseman for Dick Leach. Last couple of runs have been good. 3rd placed efforts behind World Force and Hurry Home Harry. He should be right in the picture. In for 3rd, McIntyre, a fresh runner from the Gary Lafoe Jr. stable rather. Paul Shires aboard, showed plenty in his last campaign, and fresh up, he should make his presence felt. In for fourth, number 4, Cleese. 1, 8, 3 and 4. We move to the fifth. It's the NT News Handicap. It's for the 0 to 66 gallopers, and it's over 1,600 metres. Numbers here 2, 7, 5 and 6. 2 on top for me, Cashing Up from the Phil Cole stable. Kim Gladwin aboard. Racing well, this horse. Hasn't won recently, but his last 4 or 5 starts, thirds and fourths behind some smart horses in Lotion, American Muscle, Caradoc Kid and Junior Burger. The 1,600 metres will suit, and I think he'll give you a really good sight. Number 2 on top for me, ahead of number 7, Super Veloce from the Paula Trenwith stable. Paula's only got a small team here, but she's won a couple of races. Team's going really well. Paul Denton takes them out on Super Veloce. His first up, fourth behind Country Cop, was full of merit. That was the 22nd of June, so he hasn't raced for 4 weeks, but I'm sure Paula will have him ready to go. In for third, number 5, More Alpha. He's a consistent galloper, the 8-year-old, trained by Heather Lehman. Terry Treichel aboard, comes off a good second to Grand Teton here just the other day. And in for fourth, number 6, Skeldak. 2, 7, 5 and 6 in race 5. We move to the big one of the day, the Ladbrokes NT Derby, the second leg of the Ladbrokes Triple Crown. $135,000 in trophies up for grabs, and an excellent full field assembled for this year's running of the Blue Riband. My numbers in the Derby, 7, 9, 6 and 2. I'm going with the Guineas winner for obvious reasons, Poets Landing, number 7. He's trained by Lloyd Kennerwill at Caulfield. He's to be ridden by the Guineas champion Paul Shires. He's only won that 9 times. He's won the Derby about 4 or 5, and I think he can make it another one here with Poets Landing. He's won his last 3, this horse. His win in the Guineas was superb. He really sprinted hard from about the 250, let down in great fashion, and I think the 2,000 metres, while he's untested at it, I think he'll gobble it up. 7 on top for me, ahead of number 9, Sir Garfield. I had him on top in the Guineas. He got back in the field. He hit the line pretty well to run 5th. The 2,000 metres will suit better. Greg Connor trains, Raymond Viger in the saddle. Of course, Raymond's won this race before with Flying Tormentor. In for third, number 6, Pagman. He finished second to Poets Landing in the Guineas, so really going around that Guineas form. Gary Clark, Kim Gladwin, the combo. This horse doesn't, or hasn't won for a while, but he's a really smart galloper. He's had 13 starts. He's only been out of the first 3 on 1 occasion. And my 4th selection, the visitor from Victoria, Country Cop, to be ridden by Mitch Aiken, trained, of course, by Chris Nash. 7, 9, 6 and 2 in the Derby. And completing what should be a tremendous day's racing on one of the big carnival days here. It's the $1 Million Fish Buntine Handicap. It's over 1,900 metres. Key race this. The winner of this gets ballot exemption into the Great Northern Darwin Cup, so an absolute vital lead-up run. And of course it's for the open class gallopers. 2, 1, 5 and 4 for me. He's in really good form, this 7-year-old Lotion, number 2. He's trained by Angela Forster and Jared Todd in the saddle, continuing the association with him. He's drawn 1. He'll race up on the pace. His run the other day behind Gracious Prospect and track record time over 1,600 metres was excellent. And he's just been really racing well for some extended period of time. I've got him on top, number 2, Lotion. To beat the top weight and obvious danger, Lider. Josh Cartwright, the visiting Victorian-based rider these days, he's here to take them out for Michael Hickmott. Of course, this horse has run 3rd and 2nd in the last 2 Darwin Cups. He won the Alice Springs Cup this year. He's run the other day behind Gracious Prospect over a mile. I thought was full of merit. The 1,900 metres is up his alley. He'll take plenty of beating. In for third, number 5, Flying Tormentor. She ground home really strongly the other day behind Gracious Prospect. Johnny Peacock's got her ticking over well, and Terry Treichel in the saddle. And my 4th selection, the second of Michael Hickmott's runners, number 4, Adato. 2, 1, 5 and 4 in the Buntine to wrap up what should be a tremendous day's racing. The best bet of the day comes up in race 2, number 2, Backslap. I think he'll take a power of beating. It's a good field, don't get me wrong, but he's just flying this horse. Race 2, number 2, Backslap. Well, the best roughie in the Derby, race 6, number 2, Country Cop. Race 6, number 2, Country Cop. Well, that wraps up this edition of Top End Track Talk, but we'll be back again next week in advance of day 5 of the carnival, Tab Metric Mile Day, and that will be the 27th of July. In the meantime, good luck on Derby Day and good punting.